Hello and welcome to Achievement Hunting 101. This is Wild West '08 making his grand return to the podcast. This is level 358. We're not a math or anything other than an Xbox podcast, so let me introduce our famous guest host that we have today. That would be KooshMoose. Hello, buddy. What's going on?
Not too much. How are you?
I am doing good. I'm feeling a little rejuvenated. Been on vacation and then kind of dealing with some other stuff or family stuff in the past. But I'm glad to be back. Hopefully, the schedule will be clear for the next bit, and yeah, I'm excited to talk Xbox and everything.
You got stuff to talk about. You got an Xbox branded 3DS or whatever they were called, the Quest
Yes.
3. Quest 3DS.
I heard in my absence you volunteered me to buy the Meta.
Mhm.
L was mocking my choice of buying an Ally. So apparently that's just I get chosen to buy all the Xbox stuff when I'm not around to defend myself.
Yep.
But speaking of that, thanks you and Rocker did a great job on our last turn. So thanks for you guys on taking over the reins and dealing with that. That was very gracious of you guys.
Yeah, no problem. I love to talk games.
I think we both love to talk games. So let's just dive right into the games.
Let's talk games.
Well, you know what? Let's just get the bad news out of the way. Microsoft was hit with some layoffs this week, or within the last few weeks, and unfortunately, this time it affected some of the games that we have been looking forward to. Now, I don't have the full list, so maybe you can help me get the ones wrong that I think I might have missed. But the ones that I saw were Everwild, is I guess now shut down. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Everwild's done, and that was Rare, I believe.
That was Rare. Yes, that was Rare. So I know that they came out about a year ago, I think, maybe a little over a year ago, that they were basically starting over from scratch. So anything that they've kind of shown before then, they were starting over again. And I guess now it's just fully gone.
Yeah, that's
so. Yeah. And in the even more, to me, more shocking news was Perfect Dark was shut down and they closed the initiative.
Yeah, that stinks.
That was shocking to me.
That really stinks. Having a whole studio go away is really a bummer.
Now, it's great that, like when they started that and they opened this, brand new studio, because they weren't just buying studios, they were, also, trying to create new ones as well. They brought in, a lot of what I think were pretty big people at the time, just to run this studio. I wonder if it just got too many heads involved. It just wasn't as good as we thought it might be.
Yeah, and I think AI kind of, got more popular or made, big jumps, big leaps, and just kind of changed the landscape. And then of course the economy and all sorts of stuff. Just everything all together, just one big storm. Unfortunately made that happen. I think they also with the Blizzard King acquisition, I think, or Activision Blizzard King, I think they also shuttered like 10% of King, which was like a huge moneymaker for them, right? And mobile gaming, like we don't think about mobile gaming, but that's a huge portion of that acquisition. And so they actually cut their staff by, I think, 10% too.
Yeah, Candy Crush, I believe, is King, right? That's the Yeah, that brings in a lot of money. I mean, my dad doesn't do video games at all, but he'll play Candy Crush on his phone.
Oh, yeah.
I doubt he spends money on it. He's not that kind of person. But just in general, they can make quite a bit of ad money, and then whatever else they get from it coming. So I was kind of surprised at that, but I really think it's kind of like when you have those movie studios or things like that just you think, oh yeah, let me get all these big name people in there, and then they kind of just butt heads. You kind of got to focus more on creating a good team than just hiring the best people. But I don't know. I was sad to see that. I guess they just kind of had some kind of demo that they showed us at that studio, and got everyone excited for Perfect Dark, but that must have just been for naught, I guess, because it's just not there anymore. So I was a little sad to see that. Perfect Dark was definitely a big part of my childhood with with GoldenEye and everything. So I was looking forward to seeing a brand new take on it, but I guess it's for not.
I wonder if they knew. I wonder if they knew this was coming, because like those two games were, glaringly not present in the last showcase they did. So like it was kind of like, well, where's Perfect Dark and where's Everwild?
Yeah. But I think, like, to your credit, what you've said is a lot of times when they do these game showcases, they generally don't tease stuff like super far.
Yeah,
so that was my thought. Was my thought when I didn't see it. Like, I wasn't surprised, just because I'd been thinking, well, next year you've got Grand Theft Auto now got pushed back, so a lot of those things are kind of affecting the way that other studios are going to release their games. And so my thought in general is just, hey, let's, we've got Fable possibly coming out next year. I guess it's survived so far. I haven't heard anything else.
Knock on wood. Knock on wood.
Yeah, where's all the wood at in the world? But, that's probably going to be their big thing next summer, or maybe into summer or fall next year.
And that reminds me, like, I'm not a big racing guy, but Forza Motorsport, not Forza Horizon, I think is either like seriously reduced in staff or like completely done.
Yeah.
I think was the other rumor. I think they still have a little bit of support staff at Forza Motorsport, but most of Turn 10 now is going to be just Forza Horizon, which is, the more popular. So,
but it's their own fault for it. It's their own fault for not being more popular, because they just, from what I understand, this last iteration just did not. It was very bare bones. They just thought they could kind of roll something out there and it'd be okay, but I don't know. But anyway, yeah, so that was just kind of my thought, was that Perfect Dark was going to be more of 2027, maybe 2028, depending on how long, it usually takes a while for these studios to come out with it. But was there any other games? I haven't been up to date. I'm trying to catch up on stuff for my busy life, but is there any other games that have been shut down or rumored to shut down?
I'm still waiting on Titanfall 3. It's not related to this, but
hey, we'll kick that till we're done talking podcasts. I'm with you on that, man.
Yeah.
Give me a nice special edition with a nice mock-up of a Titan for $300. I'll buy that.
It's some wall running. I just love that wall running. No, I can't think of anything else. I'm sure we're missing something and people are screaming at us right now, but I think those were the big ones.
Yeah, those were the two that I could find. I know I see here on the document that you said Microsoft funding for Romero games was pulled, so development was halted. Was that the brand new IP?
Yeah, it was the George Romero. I think that's right. He was developing something. We don't really know much about it. In fact, the publisher wasn't really officially announced, but because of the announcement that he made with the timing being Microsoft, it's pretty clear. It was Microsoft funded. So now they're looking for a new publisher. They're not completely done. I know there were rumors or things, stated in some articles saying that, that was also canceled, and apparently it's not canceled. It's just put on hold while they look for a new publisher, and hopefully they find it, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think there was something from Bethesda too, something from around like was some new IP or something. I thought I saw an article on about from the people that are doing the Elder Scrolls Online game or something similar.
Oh yeah. It was some
new IP.
It had a code name. Yeah, it was a code name game that was like apparently some high ups at Xbox really liked it, and then had to shut it down.
Yeah, I wonder what goes into that. I mean, obviously you don't want to just keep throwing money away at something you don't think is going to make you money or drive some kind of agenda that you're doing. But how is it that you worked on Everwild or Perfect Dark or any of these games for a number of years, and you're paying people and doing all that stuff only to say, you know what, we're done?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know how that works, but
the guys who crunch the numbers are the ones like, nope, no more.
Yeah, we're not going to do that. Yeah, so kind of a sad day all around for a lot of people. We hope they find their jobs quickly. But let's go on to the good. We just had today. Let's see. Today's July 8th. We've had Tony Hawk 3 and 4 achievement list dropped on the Xbox. They has been on PlayStation, I believe, but we did get them a drop the list drop and the game dropped on Xbox. What do you think? What do you think of the list?
Oh, that's not my jam.
Yes,
I
it
don't follow
is.
too closely. It really isn't. I don't know that I actually played these games when they first came out. I know I was out there doing it for real on a skateboard. I don't think we weren't actually playing the games. We were hitting up boards and scarring up our shins.
Yeah. Yeah. I never got in. I like the games. I never did. I did try myself a little bit on skateboarding when I was younger. It just wasn't my thing. The list looks pretty good. The general consensus seems to be should be a little bit easier, other than a few. Uh, I think there's one for like 10 million score on one level, which 40 people already have today. I mean, at least yesterday, or I guess it was an early access yesterday. So as far
Yeah,
as
so
the
people
score
that bought
goes,
it are in. I guess Game Pass is
yes.
not quite in yet.
So showing some people getting it. So no one's completed it yet. There is where is it?
Three
You have to
achievements
complete.
shy.
Yeah, you have to complete the solo tour, which I'm sure though that's not. It's just gonna be a long one. You have to complete every trick challenge. Yeah, you have to complete a lot of challenges. So those will probably just kind of pull yourself a little bit on the longer level, but it looks like it would probably be a little bit less than 1 and 2. So, which I think is a good thing. Get your time in there and enjoy it as much as you need to, and go to another game that you like. But list looks good. Um, Another thing that I haven't seen mentioned yet on the podcast, I don't know if it was out when you guys recorded last, but Helldivers 2 is coming to Xbox. I think that's pretty cool.
That is very cool. Yeah, I'm excited for that. I'm glad that we're getting that. And we were
Are you
also
buying?
told there's no way,
No
no way
way.
it's coming to Game Pass. Like, so,
Just to be clear.
just to be clear, it's not coming to Game Pass. So buy it day one, so that when it does come to Game Pass 6 months later, it'll be a complete shock to everybody.
Yes. Are you buying it day one?
It depends. I've got a group, and if I can get most of them to buy it or trick their game partners into buying it for them, then yes.
Well,
If
if you
not,
need
I'll
some,
just
I
wait.
will join you guys if you need help. If you need an extra person,
Cool,
hit me
cool,
up.
cool.
I will buy it day one if needed. Only for
I'm,
you.
I imagine that number one, I don't think it's a $60 title, right? I think it was a reduced price
I have
title.
not seen a price, so I don't
I think
know.
when it came out for PlayStation, I'm making this all up, but nobody plays PlayStation that listens to us. So let's just say it launched at 40. So I feel like it's a reduced price game. So I don't think it's going to be a full 60, but who knows? My plan is to get it when it's cheap, unless everyone in my group decides to jump to it, which they probably won't, because full price games are a lot, and these things will drop in price in 6 months, 3 months, something like that. So
Yeah, I have not seen a price. I'm trying to quickly find it while you were talking about it, but because it says it's available to pre-order, so you got to be able to. Here it is. Let me pull it up real fast and see if we can. It says it's available. Yeah, you're right. $40.
yeah, there you go. Yeah, same
So
thing on PlayStation. PlayStation's $40 as well.
so $40 is just the base game, and that's coming out August 26th, 2025. So next month, really. And then it's $60 for the Super Citizen Edition. Looks like it comes with a armor set, a cape, a weapon, Super
and
Citizen
citizenship.
status, whatever that means. There you go.
Pretty important.
If the president ever comes around, just show him
Yeah.
your turn on
Show
your
me
Xbox.
your Helldivers 2 badge. Yeah, you're good.
You got a hero ship and a premium warband token. I don't know what any of that means, but I am
Yeah.
intrigued.
Yeah, I just want to see what this game's about. I heard it's just fun, and so I'm just looking for fun.
Yeah, I don't buy a lot of games brand new, as you know, but I will definitely look into getting that, especially if I can find a group to play with and
Yeah, and
explore it and
$40.
everything.
So.
And it's which is great. And I think that's what it should be. If we get games like that have been out on PC or out on PlayStation or whatever for a while, I think it needs to be at a reduced price, because you've already should have made your money. You're not going to make that many sales coming off of it. So anyways, Helldivers 2 coming next month, so look for that. And the last bit of news was we got the notice that EA is shutting down Anthem servers in 2026, January 12th to be exact. So if you have that game in your backlog, which they basically have given it away for $2, I believe, at one point or another, or if you have EA Play and you want to, finish that game or whatever, I believe from what the discussion was in Discord that it can be done all solo, correct?
I believe that's true. I played with a group, but then we kind of said, you know what, this could just be done solo. And so we kind of fell off it for the next shiny thing, and then I completed it solo.
Okay. Yeah, I after I get done with some of these games that are on my tag that recently, I think that was going to be one that I was going to. I've kind of always thought, when the game first came out, I was like, oh shoot, man, this looks awesome. Basically, Iron Man and all this stuff. Like I was all for it, and then the reviews started coming out, and they were less than thrilled with it. It kind of pushed down my desire, but if I'm going to play it, I might as well do it before all the servers go down and everything. So
it is definitely the best Iron Man sim that we've got on the Xbox, with the exception of Iron Man's suit overheats. So you can't fly indefinitely. That part kind of sucks.
Okay.
But aside from that, you really feel like you're Iron Man while you're in the air and you're fighting, especially if you turn the difficulty down.
Is there any difficulty achievements on it?
I don't think so. I don't remember there being any. And actually, thinking back to when I was in a group, we stuck together and played through the storyline, beat the final boss together. But by then, when I went back to go clean up stuff, I think I beat the final boss solo. I don't think it scales incredibly. So I think you're
okay.
Or rather, I think it does scale, or maybe it's just it's doable solo. I was able to beat the boss solo once I knew the mechanics, and not a problem. So,
putting you on the spot real fast, what is your completion time in it? Do you remember?
Oh man, let me think. Let me just access that part of my memory.
While I pull up a tab real fast.
Well, I just tap my fingers if you hear any noise. 63 hours and 15 minutes, if I remember correctly.
So about a 50-ish hour completion you're looking at?
Yeah, the hardest or the most difficult thing is just not falling asleep while you are tracking down all the collectibles and all the things you have to do and visit and pick up. So basically just watching a YouTube video, one YouTube video of where everything is and another Netflix window, just find something to kind of keep yourself occupied while you're doing the mundane tasks.
Gotcha.
But it's super fun to be flying around. That part is fun.
I mean, if you have access to it, or if it ends up going cheap or something, I think you could still get your money's worth out of it and everything. So
yeah, I'm sure you can find like a $5 physical copy, and then you've got yourself a coaster when you're done.
Exactly. Just make a coaster out of all the physical media. Show off. But anyways, that's the news that we have today. Real quickly, we're just going to run through the targets to give you just a reminder of them. If you are participating in those or not. For July, we have Lucky Sevens. Earn 222 plus true achievement score from achievements with at least one word that is 7 or more letters. You need to, I'm trying to pull up the thing real fast, and I lost it. Anyways, so yeah, you have I apologize. I had this all ready to go, and it failed me.
222, it's 444, and it's 777.
There it is. Yep. Okay. So you're right. 777 TA. You have to earn more than that to get your gold if you want your gold badge. Thank you very much, Koosh. I appreciate that.
I had a second there to pull it up. So
my computer was acting on the fritz for a second there. Okay. The next one is easy as 1, 2, 3. Earn 3+ achievements with the numbers 1, 2, 3, or the word 1, 2, 3 in the game name, which is perfect if you start a certain farming simulator that just came out and has the number 2 in it. That is gold. Yeah, you're jealous because I haven't given it to you yet. Gold, you have to earn 9 achievements in that, so pretty easy to get that. I'm sure there's quite a bit of lists on mine, so you should not have a hard time on that one. And the last one is the easiest one out of all of them. It's just starting new games called bean diving. So you have to start 3 games to get the gold there.
And the TA Bean Dive event is apparently going on as well. It just started this week and it runs for like 10 days or something. So by the time you hear this, you probably have 2 or 3 days to jump in on that if you want to be part of the official Bean Dive. There's no badge, so there's no real reason to do it, aside from wanting to do what everyone else does.
Wanting to participate, exactly. But that's your reminder to do the targets this month. We are going to move on to the game showcase. And since I have been talking a lot, I'm going to take a break and pass it to KooshMoose to talk about his game for the week.
Oakley dokily, I am talking about a Game Pass game that is leaving in just 7 days. So by the time you hear this, you've got fewer than that, maybe 5, something like that, maybe fewer, maybe 3. Math is hard. The game is Magical Delicacy. Now, this is from developer Skull. This is their first game on the Xbox. It's currently $25, but the lowest price it's ever been is $17.50. It is a platformer simulation Metroidvania. I seem to remember people saying that I don't play simulation. Just saying. The game is estimated to take about 25 to 30 hours. I took 30. I just completed this yesterday. Actually, no, I completed it today, this morning. I used my last ingredient that I needed to, and it was completed today. There are no TA walkthroughs. And actually, I looked for a couple walkthroughs, and let's see, I think I tried like 3. Each one was equally bad. They were kind of vague, and there's a reason for that, because you get a recipe that you have to meet certain criteria for, and there's multiple things you can do, multiple ways you can solve that. And I think just different walkthroughs were a little too vague. I needed things spelled out explicitly, and errors were made, ingredients were wasted, and progress was lost, or not made, I should say. So what I ended up doing instead was settling on a couple resources. I just found a good resource for what an ingredient is, where it's found naturally that you can harvest it, or what vendor might sell some. And then the other thing was just the requests that you have to do, the little missions you have to go do, and the recipe that will meet that. One of the recipe combinations that will meet that need. So we're kind of jumping ahead on the mechanics there. But you play as a young witch by the name of Flora, who fulfills complex orders of the people in the town in which she has just arrived. That town is Grat. It doesn't matter. Your name is Flora. That's the most important thing. You're going to start off with a simple jump mechanic. That's all you can do. You can just jump, you can run. That's it. And you're just kind of platforming your way and, following the townspeople, talking to them, just kind of learning the story. You eventually are told that there's a store waiting for you. They're going to let you just kind of move in, and then you can pay them rent or whatever, eventually buy the shop, and they kind of hope that you'll stay and be part of their community. You will eventually unlock some other movement abilities, which is why I think they call this a Metroidvania. It doesn't feel super Metroidvania, but I don't want them to remove that. You're going to get a double jump ability. You're going to get a charged high jump ability where you just kind of hold down the right trigger, and eventually after 3-4 seconds, you'll be able to jump really high. You also have a cat form that you can take, which will allow you to get into small areas that you can't do as a human. And there's also a charged broom ability. So you'll hold lift trigger on like kind of cliff faces, and you'll just fly horizontally in one direction until you hit something or fall to your death. And you just start right back on that cliff face if you were exploring and didn't happen to find the way they wanted you to go. That's all the abilities I think you can get. You're going to be able to harvest flowers, mushrooms, herbs, spices. Those are the categories that they have for things. And you'll find those growing in specific places as you're traversing, I guess, the map. And they'll pretty much always spawn in those locations. So you won't always find like dandelion on every screen, but that one screen where you found it, if you wait one more in-game day, maybe that dandelion will be back. You can go pick it again. So you'll be able to get resources that way. You'll also be able to buy ingredients from vendors. Now, the way you're going to be able to get money to buy from the vendors is by breaking pottery. When you break pottery, little pieces of money fly to you. Not every pot, but enough that you'll start getting some money. But completing orders that you get from people as they ask you for a dish that meets a certain need will give you the most money. That's how you're going to earn the ability to buy more and more resources. I recommend that you don't buy anything you don't need right away, just because otherwise you're going to kind of run low on money, and then you're going to have to find a way to cook something with the ingredients you have to make a lot of money, or you're going to have to run around just breaking pots like a hooligan trying to make enough money to buy the ingredient you need to make your next recipe. So I would recommend, that stove looks really cool. You want to pay the $350 to get that in your kitchen, but you don't need it yet. So save your money until you have all the money you need and a recipe that blocks your progress that requires that new utensil or that new utility. And then you do that, you're not going to be, wasting your time. You're going to be kind of critical pathing it better. You're going to be able to buy appliances that are going to allow you different cooking methods, things like an oven, a skillet, a cauldron, kitchen tools to modify ingredients like a dehydrator, mortar and pestle or a juicer. And those will allow you to turn things like wheat into flour. Then you'll be able to now make pizza or noodles or things like that. And you can modify the layout of your house. So as you're kind of planning out the best way to do all these recipes, you can kind of move things close to each other that makes sense. Like, for instance, anytime you cook in a pot or in the cauldron or a tea kettle, you need water. So you want that to be near the faucet. You can't move the water. Can you move the water? Actually, you can move the sink. So you can move the sink. Kind of want to get those kind of close to each other. There's no easy, absolute place it has to be to make that make sense. It kind of, whatever works for you. I just put them kind of near each other so that it was easy to get there with the water before the water ran out. I was able to put it in the appliance and get my cooking done. Each ingredient has properties like it's sweet or it's bitter or it's poisonous or it's earthy. And customers, when they ask you to make them something, will often say, I want something that's a dessert, so it's sweet, but I can't have any herbs in it. So you have to find a combination of ingredients that will work with the recipe that end up with the flavor profile that they want, which could be earthy or it could be spicy, those sorts of things. Now, initially, you're just kind of trying or guessing and saying, oh, well, these ingredients are sweet, so it'll probably come out sweet, right? But sometimes the combinations surprise you. Each flavor profile has a strength, and it's kind of paper, rock, scissors. This will beat this, will beat this, will beat this. And initially, I had trouble because I just wasn't picking that up. I was just cooking stuff, saying like, oh yeah, this will work. And then I'd have something that was, the wrong flavor profile. I wouldn't be able to get credit. I wouldn't be able to complete their order, and I wouldn't make any progress. You will eventually unlock a keepsake that will tell you what the combination of ingredients that you're planning on making as you put them into the little grid where before you hit the go button. It'll tell you what that flavor profile will end up being, which will help you to identify if you're going to meet the need of that quest or not. Which is a great saver of ingredients and time. So once you get that, you'll be using that all the time. You'll also be able to unlock fast travel, so that'll help you get around. Let's see what else. There are catacombs, so the small little platforming areas that you'll go into. It's not very challenging. And at the end of those, you'll get like certain special ingredients, or most likely you'll get an outfit scheme or outfit theme. So basically just a different color. You can change your outfit. I didn't change my outfit until the end of the game. And I was like, oh, where are those kept? So I played the entire game without changing my outfit until I was just looking to see how many outfits I still needed or how many outfit colors I needed at the very, very end. Basically, it's a fetch quest. It's fetch quest the game. You're just running to find somebody. You're getting their order. You're then going to get all the ingredients you need if you don't already have them. You're then cooking the thing, and then you run all the way back to them to get the next quest or to get the next order, probably from them, because sometimes they have like 2 or 3 orders, and then maybe you'll meet some people along the way. So I am sure that there is a critical path that is the most optimal way to complete this game. I was nowhere near the optimal path for completing this thing. And like
Well,
I
to be
said,
honest, you don't rarely take the optimal path too. You like
this is true.
exploring a
This
lot
is
of
true.
stuff.
I do like to check all the, I like to go left when I'm not supposed to. So I do like to explore. But yeah, I sort of felt like I was just spinning my wheels, just constantly wasting time running to get ingredients and try things. Once I got that one keepsake that helped me, that really kind of helped me to get to the end faster. And I felt like things were clicking a lot better. As far as the achievements, nothing is missable. And when you complete the story, you'll be able to go back and just keep cooking, keep doing orders and things like that. So you'll be able to return once the story is over and get all the achievements. So don't worry about that. The achievements are for getting all of the kitchen equipment, which you will absolutely do by the end of the story. Getting all the movement upgrades, which you absolutely will do. Earning 2,000 coins, I guess, from selling items from the walk-up window. So as you're making these things and you're making mistakes or whatever, don't throw them away. You can sell them from your little kitchen area, and you'll get money for that, which will help you to buy more things and also meet the requirements for this achievement. Getting all the house upgrades. When you first start, you have just one big room in the house that you can put stuff. You're going to need storage. You're going to need room for more appliances. So you just basically go to, I guess, the town hall or whatever and buy a permit that allows you to expand your house to fit all those things. Okay, the real annoying achievements, there's two of them, are for planting every plantable ingredient in your garden at the back of your house. Nice thing about that is if you have one onion, you can plant it, and when you harvest it, you'll have 2 onions from pulling it up out of the ground. And if you use fertilizer on that, you actually have 3 onions. So you can find resources that you need all the time, plant a bunch of those, and then just have an abundance of them, which is really nice. But the achievement is for planting all of those, and there's 24 plantable ingredients. The game does not keep track of that for you. I recommend you use a spreadsheet. Now, the plantables are not so difficult. The real kicker is the achievement for cooking using every ingredient. So using every ingredient in the game at least one time in its natural form, I'm pretty sure. For instance, like I was saying about wheat, you get this thing called braided wheat. You can grind it up in the mortar and pestle, and then you'll have flour, and you can turn flour into noodles. If you do that, I don't think the game records it as you having used braided wheat. So that's not been checked off in your internal spreadsheet in the game. You have to use a recipe where braided wheat is used just as is and not broken down into wheat flour. So keep track of that in a spreadsheet. You'll thank me later. Your life will be so much simpler. You won't have to go at the end of the game getting some of those rare ingredients and just being like, did I use that? I don't know if I used that. My short-term memory is horrible. So the spreadsheet was a huge help. I unfortunately didn't start that until halfway through my run. And I was like, I'm pretty sure I did this, and that. So what I did this morning was I just went and I said, okay, well, here's like 5 things I'm kind of iffy about. I think it was like the 4th or 5th one was actually the one I was missing. And it seemed like that was an ingredient that I had ground up or that I had juiced or something before. And just using it in the base ingredient was actually what I had missed. And that got it done for me. So if you're going to do this, make sure you're keeping track in a spreadsheet. I recommend this game for people that want the Metroidvania tag. I recommend this achievement for people who maybe want to puzzle out the recipes for themselves. But if you do not like fetch quests and you don't want to spend time with this game, you just want to blast through it, this is not your game. But if you enjoy the puzzle of saying, oh, well, here's some requirements, I'm going to slot these ingredients in a certain way, and I'm going to double up the herb here that's going to make it, it's going to overpower the sweet with the bitter. If that's your game, then this might appeal to you. But if you're just in it for quick achievements, this is not your game, because it really is fetch quests. The game, you're just going to kind of get tired of running back and forth, and you're going to be looking at the clock the whole time you're doing it. But I had an okay time with it, but I did at the end, I was just like, oh geez, I kind of hate playing this now. Like I just want to be done so I can move on to something else. But that is Magical Delicacy. You have any questions?
Yeah, so are we talking like, is it more pixel art or is it 3D? Like what?
Oh yes, it's a pixel art 2D platformer.
Pixel art 2D. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if you mentioned that before, so
No, I just mentioned it was a platform. I didn't mention it was 2D.
yeah, I was just looking at that. Yeah, so we've got a rating on TA is 3.5, so pretty average, but not a lot of starters for a Game Pass game. Only 6,700, so
Yeah,
not
I'm not quite sure why, but I don't
might
know.
just be too much selection or something like that. Might have
Yeah,
been
there's too
one of
much
those
going
hidden
on.
games.
Or they saw it and they were just like, oh no, this is a cooking game.
Yeah. Oh, that would be true too. That those don't hit everybody, but um, I know you kind of gave. If you had to base it down into one thing, like if someone wanted to buy it and wanted to play it, um, what would be your one takeaway uh, for that person to start the game? Like if they were they were starting the game, and what would be your one advice to do? Just go through the story first, and then
Yeah,
go from
I
there.
would
Is that kind of what
say
you say?
number one, keep track of what you've tried. Maybe write down the recipes you've tried and what's failed and what kind of came out as what. If you're actually trying to get the most out of this game you can, and you're not just going to follow a guide or look at reference sheets, I would say just have some notes going so you can keep track of the things you've tried, the things you've used, and that would probably help you to understand the ingredient system more than when I went through it. I was just kind of slapping stuff in a pot and being like cook, and ended up with sludge that I had to throw into the composter to get fertilizer. But yeah, so I would say take your time with it. I mean, because if you're buying this, ideally you're someone who wants to spend time with the game. So take your time with it and learn how the ingredient system works.
Yeah, so $24.99 is the price. It's only been, it looks like according to TA, the lowest is $17.49.
Yep.
Yay on that price, nay on that price. Wait a little bit longer. Hopefully,
I
better
still think
stuff.
I think 25 is too much. I think 1750 is probably a little high too. Being on Game Pass really was the best way to do it, but I could say 10, 12. I could see if someone who was really interested in the cooking mechanic of it, 10, 12 would probably be about right.
And is it one big map, or is there other areas that you visit, or is it just?
It's one big map and it has a couple fast travel points. There's two different types of fast travel points, and you can only travel from fountain to fountain or from crow's nest to crow's nest. So there are, when you look at the map, you pull it up, you'll see like these different fast travel points. But in order to get to the crow fast travel point, you have to find another crow fast travel point.
Gotcha.
Luckily, your kitchen has both a fountain and a crow travel point right outside. So that's always the starting point to go out and come back.
And are you able to save whenever you want to, or do you have to go to those fountains?
Yes. You from the menu, from the start menu, you can just go ahead, hit save, and then shut it down and go about what you're doing.
And then my last question, story-wise, like if you're just in for the story, not really looking for completion, how long are you looking for story out of that 30 hours, 25 hours, whatever it is?
I was probably at like the 22-hour mark, but I spent a lot of time not really I guess focused on it. So I would say probably, let's just say 22, 23 for just the story.
So not a little bit of a cleanup, but not.
It wasn't too bad. Yeah. But I had kind of intentionally, as I was getting towards the end of the story, I was like, you know what? Let me just finish all these orders that I'm aware of that I currently have in my backlog, things I had collected but not done yet, because I was just like, oh, I don't want to go get that ingredient. That one takes too long to get. And so I just was like, you know what? I think I'm near the end. Let me knock all these out now, so that once I'm done the story, I don't have that much left to do. I was aware that I was going to be able to go back and continue after the story was over, but for me, I was like, you know what? I want to get all this done before and just save a couple things for after.
Okay. Well, that was Magical Delicacy. It's on Game Pass right now, but it will not be on soon. Guess you'll have, if you wanted to speed run it as quickly as possible, you might have it done in time before it leaves when the podcast drops. But
yeah, you'd have to really cook.
You'd have to really cook.
No pun.
Really, really.
I apologize for that unintentional pun. That was bad.
All right. Well, I am going to be talking about a management game this week. and be looking for another one next week because I'm probably not talking about the one you think I will be. For the last few weeks before Farming Together 2 came out, I have been playing Anno 1800 Console Edition from Ubisoft. This game, as for my PC gamers out there, this version Anno has been a popular series that has been through a few iterations. I don't know how many. I'm not going to attempt to number, but it is quite a few that I've seen as I've browsed different PC stores in the past. It's been a series that I've wanted to try. I think I have a few of them downloaded that were free or super discounted, but I never got into. And then when Vulgar started his GamePass quest that he wanted to do with the community, this was a game that I know a lot of people were not going to be interested in. So I figured I would tackle it because I know management is not the game for everyone, present company excluded. I know. Well, I guess it's probably Kush's nap time right now, so I'll keep going.
Manage.
What's that?
I managed to manage. Yeah.
I managed to manage. Yeah. All right. So for those who don't know, Anno is usually a city building management game. I've only seen trailers for the other one, so I don't know how to compare them to that. This one obviously is set in the 1800s, so the building types, the governments, all the stuff that deals with the city management game are all set around the 1800s. So you'll see pretty much everything, all the technology, everything will be around that period. I have played quite a few games of management games on the Xbox. I still prefer the PC for some of the more heavy, intense games. But as far as using a Xbox controller, I would have to say this is up there with one of the best controls for a management game. The menus are smooth. It's very easy to pick up. Some of the other ones that I've talked about in the past, like the what's it called, the 2 Point games, they can be a little confusing and until you kind of get the hang of it. This one was very smooth from the beginning. I started on the campaign right away, and the campaign kind of helped put me into the right spots for each of the things where I needed to build from, what the flow of my city needed to be, and everything. So overall, I would say the controls are very good, and it should not put you off if you're interested in playing this game. So like I said, I started with the campaign, which has you dealing, there is a little bit of a story, I believe. Let me see if I saw it. I don't have it up anymore because there is a Steam guide that kind of goes through what the different requirements are for each of the story modes, and I had it up as a reference. But I believe there's 4 or 5 chapters in it, so it's not very long. They move pretty quickly through them. I think the first time took me about 10-ish hours to 10 to 15 hours to get through the story on normal mode, which is the easiest mode is offer. They have normal, they have hard, and they have what is it, extreme? I haven't gotten that one yet. Expert, actually. So expert is the highest difficulty. You can play on any difficulty from the beginning, but I chose normal because I had never played this game before. So I just wanted to kind of get my feet wet into it and kind of see what it is. And I would recommend doing the same, even if you are pretty experienced with management games. I started playing on the expert difficulty about halfway through the campaign right now, and it's definitely a lot harder than the normal one. Your money management's a little bit tighter and everything. So my recommendation is start the campaign on normal, just kind of learn the mechanics of it, learn the gameplay of it, and move on from there. There are quite a few achievements that you can get through the campaign. Most of them are missable, where you have to choose a certain action, and you'll get an achievement from doing that action on that mission. Or there'll be one where you're faced with an achievement for both the actions, so you would need to save, choose one action, reload your save, choose the other action, however you want to do it. But just beware that if you want to have a achievement guide, or there's not really a lot of guides out there, but just an achievement list on there to know when those achievements are coming up, you can do that, or just save frequently. And when you're done, you can look at it and go back to your other choice by reloading a save after you're done with the campaign. So after you have finished all the chapters in the campaign, you'll get the final achievement for it, which I was able to get for the normal one. And then you can continue playing your city if you want to, or you can go into the expert campaign and finish that if you haven't. They also have a sandbox mode, which is just like any typical management game. You can start off on any of the three starting difficulties, or you can do kind of a customized one where you can set any kind of the options available to you. You can start with a bunch of money. You can start with no money. You can start with hard AI companions. You can start with hard pirates. You can start with easy stuff. Just however you want to do it, you can customize it to your liking and play how you would like to play. The other half of the achievements that are not in the campaign are available in sandbox mode. So however you want to do it, I'm just, like I said, I continue playing my normal playthrough. I'm just working my way through the rest of that because there are some achievements that want you to get basically towards the end of the era. So for city building games, typically like a Civilization or something, you're starting out with barely nothing and you're working your way up until, in Civilization, you're working your way up to the modern age or the space age and all that kind of stuff where you're building the, modern buildings and all that. Because everything's set in the 1800, you start with farmers as your starting people that will get attracted to your island or your piece of land that you have. And then you can work your way up from farmers to workers to artisans, etc. And there are achievements to build new buildings for the different sets. For example, there's an achievement for building your first power plant, which is later in the game. You're not going to get that with farmers. So you'll have to continue to build up your population and you'll have to build up your island. So the way that you go about doing that is each island has a certain amount of resources on there. So for example, you might have potatoes on your island and potatoes help to make alcohol. So that'll be beneficial. You also, maybe your island has furs on there, which will help in certain aspects. So you have a bunch of different resources on there, but you're not going to have every resource. Even on my normal playthrough, which has the most amount of resources because it's on the easiest difficulty, I still have to create diplomacy with other people or settle other islands. So you can take some wood and some steel to another island, create a new dock, and then build a ship and create a trade route between those two things. And so if your island, let's say, doesn't have access to potatoes, you can find another island that does, settle that island, create a population there, just kind of create a working force there, build a bunch of fields and create a bunch of potatoes, and then just bring the potatoes from that island to your main island. And that'll help, keep your people happy, or maybe potatoes are something that is part of their needs that they have to have to make them happy. So with each of the different classes of people, there's needs and there's wants. You always want to make sure they have their needs fulfilled so they'll be happy. The more of those that you have filled, the more people will be in that house and the more population you'll have, which is more income for you. So you always want to try to keep your people happy, no matter what mode you're doing on. And the game does a great job, in my opinion, of walking you through this. There's also, the game has been out on PC for a long time. I don't know specifically when it came out, but there are a lot of guides available to you that I've utilized either through YouTube guides or Steam or other stuff, just to understand the mechanics and the gameplay and how it works. So if you are interested in that, you can find those whenever you want to. So in the campaign, even on normal, you'll have usually 3 AIs along with 2 pirates. You'll need to have, there's a few achievements that you'll have to earn with certain people being your friend and your allies and everything. You will not be able to get those in campaign, so you will have to start a sandbox game to earn those. But you can just do those on the easiest difficulty. So I haven't earned those ones yet. Because I haven't really played a lot in sandbox mode, but I do need to get my other island kind of moving along just to get those ones. But they're not that difficult to get. There is one for beating the game on the highest difficulty, and you can play around with the sliders to get it just in the right area. So you're, maybe not, even though it is the highest difficulty, you're not hurting yourself too much. but you can also change your winning requirements. So I would recommend that you change it to the one with where you have to get the population the fastest and just try to go gangbusters on making the population as high as you can quickly. And it shouldn't be that hard. So that shouldn't deter you from getting that achievement. But yeah, most of them are just for building it, like building a bank gets you an achievement, a steamship, power plant, like I said, your train, building bridges, having certain things in stock. Those all get you achievements that you'll see on Steam or TA or anything. The Steam guide has a lot of DLC for the Steam achievements. There's a lot more. The Xbox ones right now just has a base 1000. So even though you have some DLC available to you, that's not necessary to complete at all or to buy, because there are no achievements and most of them are just cosmetic stuff on the Xbox side of things. Um, there is one achievement for expeditions that you'll get later in the game as your society grows. What this does is you would take a ship and you can load it up with supplies and send them off on an expedition, and that's basically kind of like a choose your own story thing. Every so often, it'll say your expedition's ready to do this, and so you'll hit the button for that, and it'll pull up a screen. It'll say, "Hey, we encountered this. What should we do?" And you can do stuff that will either increase or decrease the ship's morale, and you want to try to keep the morale above 0% before the mission's over with, and then they'll come back with whatever the supplies are. So one way that you can uh, help your town is by either your expeditions bringing back specialists from missions, or you can go to they have just a small little island on one side of the map that is housing a prison, and the prison has specialists that you can buy for money, and you can use these specialists to help increase your production on certain things. So at least in my campaign game, they reset every few minutes or something. So I'll usually keep a ship docked over there. Just kind of if something comes up that's worth it to me, I'll buy them and then just transport the person uh, back to my town, and then I'll put them in a special building, and then they'll increase production in a certain area of the map. So be on the lookout for there's also a lot of, because I went through YouTube and watched some videos on which ones to look out for to see how they would affect my town. So there's a lot of great guides out there if you're looking for specific people that will be beneficial to your area. But as far as that, I'm having a lot of fun with the game. I highly recommend it if you're a management fan. I think it's I don't think it's difficult to pick up. It's got a healthy TA ratio on it right now. It's sitting at 5,500 TA, so it's pretty healthy TA ratio. They're not that difficult to get. I'm at 36 hours played. According to TA, I'd have to look on Anno to see if that's correct or not. But I'm having a lot of fun with it. And if you are a management fan, I think you will enjoy it too. And it's on Game Pass right now. I'll probably be on there for years, so you probably have another 6 or 7 months left to play it. But yeah, I highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun.
Gotcha. So this is not like Civilization because there's no combat. It's really just all about economies and building up and not running out of resources or just waiting for resources to come in to the point where you can just, I guess, upgrade.
There is a little bit of combat. You do get shipyards, and then in the more modern age of the 1800s, you'll get access with electricity and everything, where you can build a power plant through oil and such, that you can build more modern age. Instead of the wooden ships, you can build more steel ships and stuff like that. So there are pirates around that will attack you, depending on your diplomacy with them. There is an achievement, because I haven't earned it yet. I haven't quite figured out how to do it the best way, but through diplomacy, you can give people money. You can do quests for them, which includes the pirates as well. You can flatter them, do stuff like that to increase your relationship with them, because you need to be friends with everyone for an achievement. I just haven't quite got there yet, so I couldn't speak too much to it. But yeah, there is, I believe, let me see. Yeah, there's an achievement called World Peace, which says form alliances with all players. So you have to do a certain amount of stuff, because it's a 0 to 100 scale, and I think you have to be at 70 to be able to form an alliance with someone. So you have to do jobs. There's a menu on there that you'll pull up and say, "Hey, do you have any jobs for me?" And they'll be like, "No, I'm good right now." And then 5 minutes later, you can pull it up. "Oh yeah, I've got this thing. Can you go over to this area, pick this thing up, and bring it back over to me?" And so you'll do that, and you'll get like 10 points.
Is
So
there
you
a
just
push
do.
pull? Is there like a push pull with like Group A and Group B, where Group A doesn't like it when you do stuff for Group B, or is it like it's just completely additive?
A little bit, yeah. Like there have been certain jobs that I've been trying to work on my campaign one, which is a little bit harder, and that's why I need to go into sandbox mode. I just hate leaving my city around that I built up. But yeah, there is some where I've done where one of the AI will come to me and say, "Hey, I've got this quest. Can you do it?" And if you look at it, you'll see the rewards for that quest, which most of the time includes money and maybe a specialist that will go to you. But sometimes it'll say, if you do this, this person will get +2 points on your diplomacy, or it'll get -2 on this person. So there is a little bit of it, but it's mostly on the positive side. But if you do, let's say that you change a setting so your workers are, instead of they're working, you know, X amount of hours, if you say, no, I'm just going to make them, I'm going to do slave labor or something like that, somebody will eventually come in and say, hey, I don't like that you're making your workers on, and your relationship will deteriorate with that alliance by -5 or something like that. So there is a little bit of push and pull, but it's not that extreme that you're just going to be in a war with everyone all the time.
Gotcha. I'm happy you're happy.
I know.
It does
I
not sound like a game for me, but I'm happy that you're
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah, I'm hoping that I get it done here soon. About I think about halfway through the expert campaign right now. It's taken me a little bit longer because the like I said the it is a little more difficult. I started out with less money than I did on normal, and then the swings are a little bit higher on expert and everything. So I'm just trying to basically slam out the campaign without doing anything extra like I did in the normal one. But yeah, there are some things that I need to do, like organize an exhibition, which is what I'm trying to do right now on my main game, and that's like a World's Fair type thing, and that's like in the modern, all the way at like the end of the modern era for the Anno 1800. So that's going to take a lot of stuff to do, but I'm trying to get it done and get that one checked off the list. But I'm having fun doing it. It's got 28,000 people started it with a 4 rating, and only 121 people have completed it. So not that many completions on there, but hopefully I'll be able to add to that list soon.
Well, it looks pretty.
It is. It's like I said, it's very well. I haven't had any issues at all. It's you can save whenever you want to. I mean, yeah, it's just the only issue I have is when I was playing it heavily, I was not sleeping well because I kept staying up way too late. Be like, oh, I just want to do this one thing real fast, and
Oh
then
yeah, yeah.
it's 12:30 at night, and it's like, okay, well, it's only 12:30. Okay, I just want to do this one more thing, and oh shoot, it's
Just
2:30.
yeah,
It's
just
two.
one more. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're the worst.
so that's how I feel with this one, and yeah, but all right. Well, that was Anno 1800 that I talked about. Koosh talked about Magical Delicacy. So check out those games if those interest you at all. We're going to move on to Game Pass real fast. Available now, we have Little Nightmares 2 on Game Pass Standard, Ultimate, Cloud Console, and PC. We have Rise of the Tomb Raider, which is a great game. I highly recommend that one. That's on Game Pass Standard and Ultimate on Cloud Console and PC. One that I believe Mental Knight has been doing was Legend of Mana, but I could be mistaken. That's on Game Pass Standard or Ultimate, but I believe some people in the Discord have done it. So join our AH1 Discord and ask some questions if you're interested in that one. Or maybe he's been doing Trials of Mana. I can't remember. He's done one of those. So that's, anyways, Game Pass Standard, Ultimate, Console for Trials of Mana. And I guess a game that's blowing up is Ultimate Chicken Horse. I don't know much about that. That's Game Pass Standard, Ultimate, and PC Game Pass, but I believe Vulgar has played that. Is that correct?
Vulgar loves this game, and I believe the concept is you're playing like a game of horse, right? Where you're making difficult shots with your basketball. But in this case, you are trying to get to the end of a level, a platforming level, and so you'll put like traps in the way, or you make this really difficult jump, and like it's like you get a chance to add an obstacle, then the next person gets a chance to add an obstacle, but you have to be able to complete the course. And if you can't, then you get like a letter. So I think that's the concept.
No, I'll have to look at that. That sounds a little interesting. We also get the Ascent on Game Pass Standard, Ultimate, PC Game Pass. I hear that game looks pretty. So
And it's real buggy. I
is
think
it?
it's mostly buggy in co-op. There's a ton of issues in co-op. The game will crash, whatever. But if you play solo, I believe it's a much better experience.
Okay. Well, good to know. Hopefully they'll patch that one up. I see you've highlighted a game for me on Game Pass, Manami Lane
Well, just
management game.
because, yeah, just because it's brand new and like, we don't know anything about it. And I was like, oh, look at this. It's a management game I might actually play.
Well, look at you. So, and then also available now, or I guess by the time this podcast comes out, for the public, we'll have Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 on Ultimate PC Game Pass on Cloud Console and PC. I know a lot of people are looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to hearing how it is. I still need to do 1 and 2. I've got that on my shelf somewhere that I need to play. And then coming soon, we have High on Life, July 15th, coming back to Game Pass. We have Wheel World, Wu Chang, Fallen Feathers, and Grounded 2 coming out the rest of July. We'll hear those dates pretty soon here, I'm assuming. So that is what we have coming out or available now. Do you want to talk about the Leaving Game Pass?
Sure. Leaving Game Pass is Flock, which is an adventure open world kind of bird collection game. It's very cute. You will want a guide to find all the birds. It's about 12 to 15 hours. There is a walkthrough on TA that should be very helpful. I don't believe that existed when I did it. Mafia Definitive Edition for Xbox PC. This is a stack, so it's a game so nice you want to play it twice. It's a third-person shooter stealth open world, 20 to 25 hour with a walkthrough on TA. The car race is just a major pain in the butt, and like it comes out of nowhere. The difficulty spike in completing this car race. It's so dumb. But once you finish that, it's smooth sailing to the rest of the game. So if you're hating life and you're like wondering why am I doing this, it gets so much better once that car race is done, and then the game is like super enjoyable to the end.
I remember.
And then you have to do it again.
Real quickly, I remember when I was doing that. I just did the Xbox. I did not do the PC stack, so I don't know if it's different. I happened to be doing the car. I happened to get to the car race part around dinner time, and so my wife's cooking dinner, and she was like, "What the heck are you doing?" It's like I was doing the one where I was trying to I was leaving my car and trying to create a crash at that little hairpin turn.
Yeah,
so she was like, "What?" And then all my kids would come out and just like stare, and they're like, "Dad, what are you doing?" What are you doing? And I was like, I don't know. I tried racing it legit. I'm pretty good at racers, but this is stupid.
Yeah, that solution, I tried it initially and just trying to cause a huge traffic jam did not work. I ended up just having to get good enough to beat it, and you learn the turns and you learn where to do it, and you eventually get it. It's silly that they made it that difficult, that technical, but whatever. It's a really good game despite that. Everything else is fantastic about that game.
And it's not that hard on the hardest difficulty other than that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just play it on hard initially and save yourself having to do that thing twice.
Yeah,
unless you're doing the stack. Next up, we have a brand new game called Magical Delicacy. I wonder what that's about. It's platform simulation, Metroidvania, 25 to 30 hours. Although if it takes 30 hours, that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with being the upper limit. Next up, we have Chia. It's an adventure open world, very kind of cutesy game, 20 to 25 hours. There are some accessibility options that will help you out. I think they make your stamina just not run out, and they make so I think you can take damage and not die. So you might want to look into those. That'll make it easier. I'm currently doing that, trying to get that out before it's done, and having a good time with that one so far. Next up, the Callisto Protocol. This is a third-person shooter survival horror. Looks an awful lot like Dead Space. It's based off that or the same team or something like that. There's some DNA sharing there. 42 to 55 hours with a walkthrough. And finally, we have The Case of the Golden Idol. This is a puzzle adventure point-and-click game, but really the point-and-clickness and the puzzleness is basically Mad Libs. You're going to click on everything to build up a dictionary, and then you're going to answer questions and figure out who did what from what room with what candlestick via Mad Libs. And if you play that legit, it's going to take you a long time. If you just use the walkthrough and just click on everything and then fill in everything that the walkthrough tells you, it's going to take you about a half hour to 2 hours. That's not a whole lot of fun, but hey, why not? There are 2 paid DLCs that are not part of the Game Pass deal. So if you want to get the full completion, if you're one of those guys, you're going to have to pay, I think, $14, $15 to get just the DLC before this leaves.
Oh, really? I thought it was cheaper than that.
I'm
not saying you're wrong. I'm just okay. Let me look.
I think together it's about $12 $12, something like that.
So so the Lemurian Vampire is $5.40 with Game Pass, and then the Spider is $5.40 as well. So about 10,
Yeah,
10 and a half, 10.
Yeah, something like that.
Sorry, I thought it was cheaper for some reason. I thought it was like one of those $1-2 ones.
Yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be nice, but I think it's worth it. I really enjoyed this, spending my time with it. If you're just doing the walkthrough, maybe this isn't for you. And there's also I think a prequel game that came out after this. It's not in Game Pass. If you like this game type, you can check that out.
And do you remember, I believe you did a showcase on that. Do you remember what level that was?
Ooh, I do not.
Okay. I know you did one, so check in. If you're looking for you'll be able to find it quickly on their pass list, but I thought you did a showcase on it a while ago. But I know you're busy typing over there, trying to figure out what it is.
I'm stalling for time. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's one that I'm hoping to. The only one out of the leaving section that I'm looking at doing is the Case of the Golden Idol. I have it downloaded on my computer. I just need to tear myself away from farming to get to the Golden Idol one. But yeah, I'm with you in Mafia. I definitely recommend it. It's worth a buying if you need to. I loved that game. I believe I did a showcase as well on that, and you did one.
I don't know that I did a showcase on Golden Idol. I think I probably just talked about it in passing or something. But yeah, I don't think I did a showcase on it.
Maybe you did that instead. Yeah, but well, we've been talking long enough, and you guys need to get back to your gaming and your gamer score and everything. Anything else on the horizon that's got you excited for Xbox? Anything else you recommend that I have to buy now?
I can't think of anything. Right now I'm just like, I want to check out this new game, this Menominee Lane. I want to make sure I get Chia done. Yeah. Oh, there's a huge sale going on right now. We don't talk sales anymore, but there's a huge sale, and I had so many tabs open, and then I looked on the Xbox. Yeah, the reason is that it's an ID at Xbox themed sale also going on. So if you're into those indie games and the ID at Xbox games, that's probably something you should check out because there's some really good deals to be had. Well,
if you're looking at supporting an id game, go buy Farm Together 2. It's amazing. It just is. I don't know. I am having so much fun with the game.
It's not on sale, so sorry.
It's not on sale, no, unless you're K-Man and you get it for free from someone.
Yes.
But thanks for listening, K-Man. We appreciate it. We appreciate your support. I didn't even know who you were until I was asking Koosh about that. So I was like, I don't know if I've recognized this one. I was like, maybe is this before my time or no? But we appreciate everyone's support. But yeah, Farm Together 2 is awesome. You'll hear about it here in 2 weeks unless something happens to me. Well, I think that'll conclude us for level 358. We appreciate the support. We appreciate the listens. Let us know how we're doing, how we can improve. If there's a certain game you want us to talk about or try out, then hit us up. I'm more than happy to try just about any kind of game that's out there. You can follow us on the Discord at AH101. Also, if you're interested, we try to run some contests or have some giveaways for our patrons. So we appreciate that as well. But yeah, I think that'll do it for us. I'm Wild West, and we'll catch you later, guys.
Bye-bye. Supposed to say class is dismissed.
Oh, sorry. That's a you guys thing.
That's an Ellism.
Yeah. We love you all.